Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
To some, this is just a ball. To Iowa Farm Bureau, it's much more. It's opportunity for small-town kids to make it big. It's our youth, our community leaders, our past, our future. It's hopes and dreams, passion and pride. To Iowa Farm Bureau, this is the reason we work so hard. This is Iowa. Iowa Farm Bureau. People, progress, and pride.
Presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. It's now Class 3A's turn to take the court as the 8 seed Davenport Assumption Lady Knights go up against the top seed Cherokee Braves. And hello everyone, delighted to have you with us on this Monday afternoon on the Girls Union Network powered by Mid-American Energy. Alongside my broadcast partner Trent Condon, I'm Hunter Phillips. And Trent, we flipped the calendar into March today, and that means state basketball. We've been treated to some great matchups in Class 5A to kick off the day. Now we'll have some fun with a good-looking 3A field.
Yeah, really looking forward to seeing this one. The 3A bracket, it feels a little wide open, though we have an undefeated top-ranked team we're going to see here and the number 1 seed in Cherokee, Washington. I think a lot of teams that feel like they have a path to make their way into that championship game on Saturday and play for it all. It's
going to be fun to see how it unfolds. Now let's take a look at both of these teams' road to state, and we'll begin with Davenport Assumption, Trent.
Davenport Assumption comes in with an 8-11 record, and you say, boy, it's got to be some upsets to get there. Remember, though, Assumption, they play in mostly a 5A conference. You look at their losses on the season, 2 to Pleasant Valley, 2 to Central DeWitt, 2 to North Scott, 2 to Davenport North, and losses to Muscatine and Davenport Central. So they've been playing up, if you will, throughout the course of the season. They got on the road to the state tournament with a win against Maquoketa in the opening round. Center Point Urbana 40-31 in the second, and then the regional final. They beat Solon 49-36 to punch their ticket here. Start of the tournament, they were 5-11. Now they're playing in the state tournament.
Yeah, and how about the Cherokee Braves? That's going to be a tough test for Davenport Assumption. Cherokee, again, 22-0, the only undefeated team in this Class 3A bracket.
And just domination continued as we got to regionals. It opened up with a win against Kemper Catholic. They won in the opening round by 37, by 15 in the semifinals against Atlantic 63-48. And then the win in the regional final, they dispatched Panorama 74-46. Domination continues, and we'll see that from Cherokee all season long. Just 2 games that were even single digits in the final score.
Well, we're going to step aside and take our first break. When we come back, we'll continue our pregame coverage with the Kruger Seeds for Success as we count down to tip-off from downtown Des Moines. You're watching the 2021 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
And that's halftime, folks. I'm Gus Johnson, and it looks like the Clarks are starving. Over to Dad.
He goes for the Casey's app.
2 handmade pizzas.
Incredible! Casey's curbside pickup. What a play! Bringing it home. Boom! He scores with Casey's Pizza. Order any large Casey's Pizza. Score another for just $5.99.
Casey's for the win.
And welcome back here on the Girls Union Network. Exciting to begin this 3A bracket between Davenport, Assumption, and Cherokee, the 1 versus 8 matchup. Now let's take a look at the Kruger seeds for success. Trent?
Yeah, let's start with Davenport Assumption, the number 8 seed, 8-11 as we mentioned. And number 1, key to the game, keep it close. As you look at what Cherokee has dealt with, we talked about that a little bit earlier, Hunter. This has been a team that hasn't been involved in a whole lot of close games. I think more than anything, if you're Assumption, keep it close, give yourself a chance going into the fourth quarter, and you'll take your chances. The second one hit three-pointers, just 26% from downtown on the year from the Knights. They got to knock down those open shots, and they're going to have opportunities against a Cherokee team that likes to push the pace. Jumping over to the top seed, the Cherokee Washington Braves, 22-0. Their keys to the game, presented by Kruger Seeds. Play fast. Mention that tempo. They love to push the pace, get up and down the floor at an incredibly high level. They're averaging over 19 steals a game, and that goes into forced turnovers, and that's what they do. They want to make you play fast. They want to make you feel uncomfortable. Tempo, certainly a key on both sides.
Today's Seeds for Success were brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Learn more at KrugerSeed.com. We're going to take another break as we continue our pregame coverage here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices.
You shed a light that guides me home. I got it. You're my favorite.
Fairway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
Fans, the Iowa Bankers Association is proud to help students reach their goals, both financially and educationally. That's why they are honored to provide 5 student athletes from this year's basketball tournament with $1,000 scholarships. Follow their Facebook page at facebook.com/Iowa Bankers to see the winners. Moments away from Davenport, Assumption, and Cherokee. 1 versus 8 as we begin this Class 3A field. Hunter Phillips, Trent Condon, delighted to have you with us on this Monday afternoon. And again, Trent, we were treated with some great matchups in Class 5A. This one is going to be awfully good.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Looking forward to seeing who can keep the pace up, who can play at the highest level. And Davenport Assumption, you think of this season, and when we were in February, did they think they were going to be here? What they did at the end of the season. Cherokee expected to be here, and those opening jitters, always a big one. Feels like in the quarterfinal round more than any other round, those jitters, who's playing in the big gym for the first time, who it impacts the most.
Well, for Cherokee, this will be their 7th state tournament appearance, first since 2017. They do have some experience coming in for this year. And as for Davenport Assumption, their 17th trip here to the state tournament. They've made it 4 out of the last 5 years. Now we'll take it down to our public address announcer as we're about to get underway for the Sportsmanship Award and team introductions. Here's Joe Hammond.
Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Because once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Davenport Assumption High School and Cherokee High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Maddie Schultz, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school's scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Davenport Assumption High School, let's hear it for Ron Crino. And from Cherokee High School, Olivia and James Shaw.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union encourages positive behavior, pride, respect, leadership, and sportsmanship on the court and in the stands.
Remember what a great privilege it is to see your team compete. Thank you for your attendance and enjoy the game.
And enjoy the game.
And enjoy the game.
Lady Knights. Number 1, Annika Katula. Number 2, Jesse Wardlow. Number 3, Taylor Hodge. Number 4, Leah Morrow. Number 5, Ingrid Schluter. Number 11, Sydney Rowe. Number 13, Allie Kirsten. Number 15, Autumn Kelly. Number 23, Maddie Loken. And number 31, Maddie Nige. The assistant coaches for Davenport Assumption are Trevor Fenley, Brian Klosterman, Sam Johansson, and Ron Crino. And now let's meet the non-starters for the Cherokee Braves. Number 4, Molly Pitts. Number 10, Taylor Christensen. Number 11, Anna Paulsrud. Number 14, Tegan Slaughter. Number 25, Harper Benson. And number 30, Abby Vandeloon. The assistant coaches for Cherokee are Heath Hagberg and Matt Mungan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for tonight's starting lineups? For Davenport Assumption, a 5'5" senior, number 10, Katie Anderson. And for Cherokee, a 5'5" junior, number 3, Camille Zwiefel. For Davenport Assumption, a 6'2" sophomore, number 21, Ava Schubert. And for Cherokee, a 5'7" junior, number 13, Alexis Pingle. For Davenport Assumption, a 5'11" senior, number 22, Anna Wohlers. And for Cherokee, a 5'6" senior, number 20, Grace Anderson. For Davenport Assumption, a 5'5" senior, number 30, Olivia Wardlow. And for Cherokee, a 5'6" sophomore, number 23, Kenan Mungan. For Davenport Assumption, a 5'10" junior, number 32, Dawson Dorsey. And for Cherokee, a 5'9" senior, number 24, Jermaine Nichols. The head coach for Davenport Assumption is Jacob Tim, and the head coach for Cherokee is Brandon Slaughter. The floor officials tonight are Marlon Schohoven, Chad Slagle, and Jared Ray. Welcome, Davenport Assumption and Cherokee, to the 2021
And before we begin today's game, we'd like to once again thank the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa High School Girls Athletic Union, for their support. The Iowa Farm Bureau has an office located in each county across Iowa, and we'd like to thank the offices listed on your screen for their support of the two teams playing in our game today. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau, for supporting the Iowa High School Girls Athletic Union and the Iowa Girl. Well, Trent, moments away from tip-off as we take a look at the starters here quickly for both Cherokee and Davenport Assumption. I know we're ready. Hope the fans back home are ready, as Assumption wins the tip, and we're underway here on this Monday afternoon. Class 3A action beginning with the 1 versus 8. It's Anna Wohlers shuffling it over to Dawson Dorsey. Assumption coming in with an 8-11 record, but are on a roll. They flip it in down low. First shot.
Basket by number 21,
the
Ava
afternoon
Schubert.
is knocked down by the 6'2" sophomore Ava Schubert.
Help a little bit late getting over. Easy bucket in the paint.
So now here come Cherokee, the top seed in Class 3A, 22-0. Here's a corner three, knocks it down.
A three-point basket by number 13,
That's
Alexis
Pingle, the 5'7" junior that puts Cherokee up for the first time this afternoon, 3-2.
And here comes that Braves pressure right away after every made basket.
Yeah, you're going to see a team that likes the pressure on the defensive end, and Jermaine Nichols nearly came away with the steal, and Trent, she's going to be everywhere on the defensive end.
One of the top defensive players in the state, regardless of class, leads Class 3A in steals this year. She's outstanding, and Assumption, a change in their starting lineup from the projected starters. Number 10, Anderson, in there, another ball handler.
Corner shot goes in and out by Dorsey. Nearly got tipped, but Nichols handles it. Baseline. Thinking about the corner three was Pingle. And a blocking foul whistled on the floor on Assumption.
Wohlers had the right idea, trying to force the driver baseline there, just a half step behind, though, cutting it off and getting that foot out of bounds.
There you saw first-year head coach Jake Tim. What a job he has done to rally his team here in this postseason. Pingle drives and finishes. Pingle averaging 12.5 points per game. Second on the team for the Braves, who again are applying pressure as Assumption is able to get it across the timeline. Anderson thought about the spot up three. High floater is airballed. And Pingle is there to collect the loose balls. The Braves are on the fast break. And they're able to draw a foul in transition, as that was Grace Anderson going for the layup.
Yeah, Grace Anderson, you see that step-through move, able to cut the defender and then finish at the rim, getting a chance at a couple of free throws. And again, pace, tempo, something incredibly important. We're seeing early on Cherokee has this game at the pace they want.
On a 5-0 run after being down early 2-0, as the first free throw is off by Grace Anderson, one of the seniors for this Cherokee squad that is shooting just under 58% from the line. And Anderson is able to go 1 for 2, and now we'll have our first sub come in for Cherokee. Substitutions in today's game are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. As Abby Vandaloon coming in for the Braves, as Assumption is able to break through that press and then are able to draw contact on the other side, and that's Olivia Wardlow.
Wardlow just 5'5", but you see a good job of using her body, understanding the angle there on a beautiful feed inside. Got that leg extended out just a little bit, creating a little extra contact, making it easy on the official.
Wardlow, the 5'5" senior, is able to knock down the first, shooting just 48% from the line this season. As a team, Davenport Assumption shooting 59.5% from the line. Second one goes in and out, and Jamae Nichols grabs the rebound, but Cherokee turns it over in the half court. Nichols is able to swat away the layup attempt.
And Nichols doing a smart job there, understanding contact is going to be coming, continue to go backwards, and just using her hand, not the body, to get the block.
Assumption is unable to get it in play in time. Great defense by Cherokee as Dawson Dorsey had nowhere to go. So again for Assumption today, one of those, again, keys for them is limiting the turnovers as Nichols wedges her way down low and draws a foul. Jamae Nichols, what a senior season she is having. Is going to look for a big performance here today to help Cherokee move on.
Cherokee Washington comes into play today. 420 attempts at the free throw line. They get there a bunch, and the pace and the tempo they play at is a big part of that.
Molly Pitts will come in for the first time here this afternoon. Again, substitutions are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Second one by Nichols is nothing but net. 8-3, Cherokee over Davenport Assumption. 5:45 to play in this opening quarter from Wells Fargo Arena. Taking it all the way and unable to finish is Dorsey. Nichols on the break. 1 on 4. Euro steps in the lane. She can't finish. And now Assumption. It's been back and forth here these last few possessions as Wohlers is able to get it off the glass and in.
Good strong power dribble there, creating some space.
3-point lead for Cherokee as Nichols' three is off the mark. Both teams battling for the loose ball. And great effort by Assumption, but then they turn it over. 3 on the way. Is left short by Mongan. Diving for it. And unable to save it is Wardlow. And now Grace Anderson will come back in for Cherokee, who has the basketball. And again, Trent, you mentioned just the pace of play, and already both teams just exerting a lot of energy. And you know that both of these teams have that energy here to begin things. There's a lot of nervous energy as you start off the quarterfinal round.
Well, and we're seeing the depth of both teams. Both teams bringing in a lot of different girls, getting an opportunity early on, getting their feet underneath them.
And drawing the contact was Vandaloon. And to your point again, Trent, this is a Cherokee team that is going to look to make a lot of trips to the charity stripe today.
Almost 20 a contest. That shows you just what they can do. Now, one thing they do need to maybe tighten up a little bit, especially as these games get tighter, is the percentage. As you talked about, Hunter, a little bit earlier, 66% from the free throw line overall on the season. Want to see that number tick up just a touch higher. As the games get tighter, those free throws become more and more important.
They sure do. And for Cherokee, they have not played in many close games this season, like you mentioned at the top of the broadcast. Off the miss. Nice play by Wohlers just to swallow up Grace Anderson as she brought down that rebound. But now Assumption needs to get it across half court, and they're able to do so. 4-point lead for Cherokee, just over 4.5 to play. What's been an up and down first quarter. And nothing going. Down low for Nige for Davenport Assumption. And a travel. Turnover by Cherokee. Looks like Paulsrud will come in for the first time today for Cherokee. And Alexis Pingle will come back in again, rotating through many players here early on as head coach Brandon Slaughter in his 8th season at Cherokee. Was an assistant coach during the 2016 through 17 seasons when Cherokee made it to the state tournament. Applying pressure again and just getting it over is Davenport Assumption. Out of the Mississippi Athletic Conference, Have played a lot of tough competition this year, but Cherokee has been showing a lot of fight. Open off the drive and unable to finish is Wardlow. And the Braves push it forward. It's Pingle. Gets it stripped away. Again, back and forth we go. Seems like really over these last few possessions, neither team has given an inch. Floater is off by Wardlow again as Assumption's looking to attack the glass. Will remain Assumption basketball. Nichols will come back in, and Pitts will check out.
Well, disjointed that time down, had a look at an open three-pointer. We talked about not one of the strengths, though, of Assumption, those deep shots.
Boy, and that shot just went in for an IG. That was around a pair of Braves defenders as Nichols in the lane finishes. So Jermaine Nichols now with 4 points to put Cherokee up by 6. And a foul right in front of us called on Pingle of Cherokee.
And Nichols is so good off the bounce, getting into the lane, but not just penetrating in and kicking. She looks to finish when she gets inside the paint. It's going to be very important for Assumption inside. They got to really dive on her, make them hit outside shots, can't give her layups.
Katie Anderson, one of a few new Lady Knights to come back in. Again, Katie Anderson did get the start for Davenport Assumption for this quarterfinal matchup. And now Wardlow is trapped there. As the three's on the way. Too strong. Off by Loken. One and done possession for the Knights. As Monken gets tripped up. And again, a battle for the loose ball. As Assumption races back and try to reset things. Down by 6. Here's the three. That's good. Anna Wohlers knocks it down, and it's a 3-point deficit for Davenport Assumption. But just like that, Cherokee is able to respond. Alexis Pingle knocking one down, 14-8.
And getting back to that pace Cherokee wants to play with. She gets to set up their defense as well.
That's now 8 early points for Pingle, and like you said, a chance for them to reset their defense as Wohlers regathers the dribble. And a turnover. Offensive foul as the Braves are feeling energetic to get this one started.
And you see the semicircle underneath the basket, not for the high school level, though. That's for, well, back when we had the G League here, and of course at the college level. Not the high school level, though. That semicircle not nearly as big.
And a timeout is called on the floor by Davenport Assumption. And it looks like it will just be a 30-second timeout, so we will stay here. And man, Trent, again, just not to sound like we're playing a broken record here, but just the pace to start off this game. And this is what we're going to see throughout the course of these 4 quarters of play.
Yeah, Cherokee themselves has turned it over 5 times. A little bit surprising on that avenue. Just 2 turnovers to this point for Davenport Assumption. But the Knights 3 of 12 from the field. Obviously got to clean that up. Cherokee 4 of 7 from the field, including 2 of 4 from downtown for the Braves in this 6-point lead.
And again, Pingle with those 8 points. Jermaine Nichols with 4. And Anna Wohlers leading the way here early on for Assumption with 5. Nichols with the catch. Skips it down low, and the finish is there for Grace Anderson. Just great unselfish play there by Jermaine Nichols.
Always making the extra pass, this Cherokee team.
Nichols gets her hands on it. And again, playing some tough defense. But they'll get Nichols for the reach-in foul as, again, Assumption was struggling to get it across half court.
Yeah, it looked like Loken got bumped by her own teammate at first, kind of threw the timing off of that play.
1:40 to play in what's been an exciting first quarter between Cherokee and Davenport Assumption. Controlling the dribble is Jesse Wardlow for Assumption. And an errant pass there that time by Schubert. Gives the ball to Cherokee. Here's a corner tray. in and out. A good look for Grace Anderson, as the Braves can't get the rebound from going out of play, and it'll be Assumption basketball.
You just got to be ready as Assumption is finding this out. It's one thing I'm sure during practice this whole week when the matchups come, they knew they were going to see pressure, they knew it was going to be there, but until you're playing in this game and you're dealing with it for all 8 minutes of each quarter, just so difficult to kind of go through during a practice session compared to here on the real floor.
So yeah, the first quarter really a feeling out process. And then when you add in the fact that it's win or go home for these teams. Assumption looking to get going here as we have less than a minute to play. Here in this opening quarter, Cherokee up by 8. It's Dawson Dorsey driving and is able to get the finish.
Good strong take there. That's how you beat pressure defense, go to the rim.
Averaging just under 7 points per game, a much-needed bucket there for Assumption. Meanwhile, the three is off by Grace Anderson. She's had a couple of good looks there from that same spot, as the Braves turn it over after getting the long offensive board. Dawson Dorsey trying to evade two Braves defenders. Gets the cross. And a steal, but foot was out of bounds as Mongan was about to pass it out. That stops play with 13.7 seconds left here in this first quarter.
Try to find something in the corner here. A lot of times you can get an open three-pointer on these out-of-bounds plays.
Swayful comes back in for Cherokee. Dorsey set to inbound. Gets it into Schubert, back down low to Dorsey. Right-handed hook shot won't go. Gets her own rebound. High putback won't go. Another offensive rebound. 3 seconds left to play in this quarter. Turnaround jumper is in. Oh! Showing off the flex there was Dawson Dorsey, who did it all herself there for Davenport Assumption in the final minute or so to get the Lady Knights within 4 points. What an exciting first quarter of play here from Wells Fargo Arena. We'll take a break here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
At Central College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
Hey fans, Central College has a tuition price less than $20,000. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. Back here at the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Hunter Phillips and Trent Condon. Delighted to have you with us as we begin the 3A bracket between Cherokee and Davenport Assumption. And Assumption denying the Braves down low as a foul is whistled down low. Actually, going to have a held ball. A tie up there, but looked like a pretty good block down low. The Assumption fans not too happy, but again, both of these teams giving it their all here through the first 8 minutes.
And a different look here defensively, 1-3-1 half quarter court pressure, but Assumption able to beat it easily.
Both teams combined for 9 turnovers there in that first quarter. Again, we're able to attack on the defensive end as the three is off from Assumption. Braves haul in the rebound and a foul whistled on Assumption.
Yeah, got a good look at it, and that's how you beat a 1-3-1. It's in the corners. That is where you can certainly exploit it the most. Assumption got a good look, and as we talked about in the pregame, now got to knock down those open threes.
1 for 3 to start things off from beyond the arc for Davenport Assumption. Cherokee on the other end is 2 for 7. Here's a 3. That one's well off. Grabbing the loose ball is Olivia Wardlow. And she'll back it out to Dawson Dorsey, who's trying to, again, get past a pair of Braves defenders. And they're left open. 3 is knocked down by Katie Anderson, who again got the start and trims their deficit down to 1.
Anderson can fill it up. 10 3-pointers and 30 attempts coming in. One of the best three-point shooters for Assumption.
And maybe the spark they needed. There's a block from behind by Ava Schubert, who is a phenomenal volleyball player and really putting those skills to good work here in the early onset of this one. Jamae Nichols receives the inbounds, corner 3. Off the mark. That one attempted by Kenan Moggen. Dawson Dorsey brings it up herself. Now they go down low to Schubert. Turnaround, too short. Nichols with the rebound. At the handoff, it's Mongan. Alexis Pingle at 8 points back in the first quarter. Gives it off to the corner. 3 is short. Pingle with the rebound. As fouled while going for the putback. So that's really been a critical area too, Trent, is Cherokee's ability to get offensive rebounds.
Yeah, they've been working the glass hard, and that's something also, playing at the quicken pace, you're going to get up and down, you're going to have longer shots, and that leads to longer rebounds. Your Assumption, every single time that ball goes up, got to find a girl, put your body into her.
So Alexis Pingle, the 5'7" junior, is able to knock down the first of 2 free throws. Pair of subs coming in for Cherokee. A reminder that substitutions are brought to you by IMT Insurance. And Pingle is able to go 2 for 2 from the line. Cherokee went 4 for 6 from the line there in that opening quarter. They lead Davenport Assumption by 3, 18-15 with less than 6 to play in this opening half. Olivia Wardlow to the corner to Anna Wohlers, down low, and getting it up and in is Ava Schubert.
And Schubert got that right away, knew what she was going to do, one hard dribble and went up with it before the double team could get there.
Just a confident move, knowing that she had the height advantage. Nichols, her layup, rattles off.
Assumption's height's bothering Cherokee a little bit now.
Especially finding that mismatch down low with Ava Schubert. That's an early 4 points for Assumption. They go down to the well again. And Dorsey is unable to connect with that right-handed floater. 1 point lead for Cherokee, who pulls up for 3, and they knock it down. Alexis Pingle's got the hot hand. That's her third made 3 here already.
Second leading scorer for Cherokee and comes in hot to the state tournament.
21-17 Cherokee. 4:45 to play in the first half, and it seems like when Assumption's been able to get back in this one, Cherokee's been able to respond. But again, finding that mismatch down low, it's Ava Schubert, who averages 12.5 points per game. The leading scorer for Assumption gets the easy bucket as a foul's whistled on the other side on Assumption.
When Schubert there just made the little eye contact, looking at her teammate, I'm here, got the defender on her hip, and it was easy with that tall frame to lay it in.
So that was the 8th team foul on Assumption. So, again, the Braves in the bonus from here on out here in this opening half. At the line is Kenna Mongan. First of the 1-and-1 is good. Mongan, 4th on the team in scoring. This is a Cherokee team that is well balanced. 4 players that average double figures in scoring. But one of those 4 players, Trent, that we didn't get a chance to talk about, Tegan Swatter, the daughter of head coach Brandon Swatter, is out with a torn ACL. Tore that in January, but man, this Cherokee team is just continue to be able to be resilient this year.
Yeah, you look at after that injury, what this team has been able to do, almost galvanize them, knowing everybody's had to step up. And you didn't anticipate that kind of loss was going to be so impactful. They just kept winning games, and not just winning them, but winning them by big margins.
So Assumption looking to get going again, down by 4, 23-19. 3 is left short. And that was Anderson who made one earlier here in the second quarter. Braves looking to push, but the pass is too high for Grace Anderson to handle. That is the 6th turnover on the Cherokee Braves.
Didn't get that pressure defense set up in time.
Anderson swings it to Loken. They go down low, and again it's Schubert who's having a big second quarter.
Well, you wonder if they're going to have to go to zone there if they keep going inside. Assumption does, making those plays.
And they come up with a steal. Trying to put the pressure on the other side on Cherokee, who's holding on to a 2-point lead. Just over 3.5 to play. That's been a fun first half from Des Moines. 3. It's off the mark from Jesse Wardlow, but they get an offensive rebound, another try, and it's good. Katie Anderson with her second make from downtown, and Cherokee wants to talk things over.
We got the upset brewing here, the 8 seed, 8-11 record, but they have come ready.
So a 30-second timeout, it looks like, called on the floor. So we take a look at that replay, and again, just go to that hot hand. You know it's been Alexis Pingle for Cherokee, but how about Katie Anderson, the 5'5" senior, knocking down 2 critical threes here in this second quarter, and like you said, back comes Assumption, who takes their first lead for the first time since we just got started in the first quarter.
Jake Tim, in his first season for Assumption, pressing the right buttons. He gives a surprise start to Anderson. Just her 4th start of the year. Comes at the state tournament with the senior. Couple of big threes. She's been a good ball handler out there against this pressure. Just what Assumption needed in the backcourt.
And, you know, we touched on this Assumption team and how difficult of a schedule they've faced. 9th in strength of schedule in the state. That's the highest in Class 3A, and that's amongst all the classes. So even when they've been down, they've been able to weather the storm, and it's been their defense that has been stepping up in the second quarter, causing a few Cherokee turnovers. Assumption looking to build on this run, ahead by 1. Off the screen, Loken handles it. They go down low, tough drive. They're attended by Wohlers, so we'll head to the charity stripe.
Well, and I think you're continuing to see from Assumption, too, their confidence is building here as this game has gone on. Early on, Cherokee was pushing the pace, kind of doing what they wanted. Assumption settled in, and now, with that tough schedule, just keep it tight. Something we talked about at the top, Hunter. The Braves have not played many close games this year, and you wonder if you get into the second half, this thing stays tight, how they're going to respond.
And especially on the big stage as well, as Wohlers goes 1 for 2 from the line. Anna Wohlers will play softball at DePaul University next year. And her team is just continuing to make plays on defense. It's Anderson who's made a couple of threes. Thought about another one there, but had the steal moments earlier. Now it's back in the hands of Wohlers. No look pass to Anderson. Go outside to Loken. Big second quarter for Davenport Assumption after they were down by 4 points going into this second quarter. First shot won't go, but it's Nige that gets the rebound, and now it's a 3. And it's good for Maddie Loken. And again, they've been getting those second chance opportunities, Trent, and cashing in.
Shooting just 26% from 3 coming into play here today, but they have been hot from outside.
Getting hot at the right time is Davenport Assumption. Largest lead on the afternoon. They lead by 5. Cherokee looking to respond. Tough collision as Molly Pitts took a spill. And both of these teams have just been battling really hard to begin Class 3A play. As we take another look at that tough drive. .420 steals this year from Cherokee.
Yet Assumption has turned it over just 4 times all game long to this point.
Boy, just the flip of a script, essentially, from the first quarter to the second quarter. Nichols battling for the rebound for Cherokee. She was the last one to touch it after a missed free throw by Pitts. Coming back in for Cherokee is Kenna Mongan. Olivia Wardlow also in as well for Davenport Assumption. Again, substitutions here throughout the state tournament are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Dawson Dorsey back in. She got a nice breather. Now she'll go to Wohlers. Open corner 3 is off by Anderson, who again is able to knock them down and gets her hands on an outlet pass. Another steal by the Lady Knights. Here in this second quarter, defense has been key. Nice drive and connection.
Beautiful feed. That is how it's done. Find that gap, penetrate, and then drop it down for the layup.
And that's Nige with the finish. But meanwhile, Cherokee count the bucket. What a response there by Alexis Pingle, who is trying to lead her Braves back in this one.
A response here now from Cherokee. What can they do? This is an important free throw, too. Chance to set your defense after a made free throw. Again, apply that pressure. It's been able to at least get Assumption out of sorts. Can't let them just go down and maybe even hold for the last possession of the first half.
This has been a second quarter that Assumption has outscored Cherokee 16-9 in, as Pingle is able to complete the 3-point play to make it a 4-point lead for Davenport Assumption. Braves making it difficult on Schubert, who gets it across, but then it's Nichols that pokes the ball away from behind. It's Weifel with the drive. Trying to force one up there and try to bank it in. But too strong as Assumption goes back to work with 45 seconds left to play in this first half, up by 4. Schubert will swing it out to Olivia Wardlow as we approach 30 seconds to play in this second quarter. Schubert posting up, banks it in.
So good with that left hand in the post.
And a timeout quickly called by Jake Tim. And it's really been a balanced effort, Trent, here by Assumption, knocking down some threes from Katie Anderson, but then they've been able to get many points from number 21 down low to really kind of force some difficulty for Cherokee on the defensive end.
Well, the thing you love to see from Schubert is once she gets that ball inside right away, she makes a decision what she's going to do. Before the double team, the help comes over, she's going up, one dribble, and making the play. And that left hand, always tough to go against, defend against, even as you scout. Takes a little bit while to remember exactly where that shot's going to be coming from.
So Assumption up to 42% shooting from the floor here in this opening half. And that field goal percentage has been rising up because of those good looks down low. So out of the Assumption timeout, it is Cherokee ball. 6-point lead for Davenport Assumption, who again was down by 4 after the first quarter. Pingle for 3. Knocks it down.
She has been so good, keeping Cherokee alive.
4th made 3 for Alexis Pingle. She now has 19 points alone, as Nichols tries to lay it in at the buzzer, which would have been big momentum going into the locker room, but instead it's a 32-29 lead for Davenport Assumption over Cherokee after the first half of play here from Wells Fargo Arena. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime show here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's top teams and student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's a chance for a small town kid to make it big. It's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more, to be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can be found only in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes, the coaches on a successful year. And remember, the task ahead of you is never greater than the strength within you.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
The SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face.
SWIC feels like a community, like family,
like home. SWIC is a place for you.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
And welcome back here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. We have reached halftime in this 1 versus 8 matchup as Davenport Assumption, the 8 seed, leads Cherokee 32-29. Now we'd like to take a moment to once again thank our title sponsor, the Iowa Farm Bureau, for their support for the state basketball tournament. Earlier this week, Tom Florian of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union had the opportunity to sit down with Iowa Farm Bureau President Craig Hill for an interview to learn more about the Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the IGHSAU and student athletes from across the state.
And we'd like to welcome you into the halftime show. I'm Tom Florian with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We hope you've enjoyed the first half of action here at today's game. The Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament here now in its 102nd edition in Des Moines, a great event for the state of Iowa. And we here at the Girls Union are so thankful for those who support us in putting on this fantastic event, none of which are more important and great as Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Joining me now here at halftime is President of Iowa Farm Bureau, Craig Hill. Craig, good to see you.
Good to see you, Tom.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here. We want to tell the viewers about Iowa Farm Bureau and the support that you provide to the Iowa Girls Union. My first question to you would be, why does the Iowa Farm Bureau invest in and support the Iowa Girls Athletic Union?
Oh, well, Tom, the Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union now for 16 years. And we're thrilled, once again, to be a part of what we consider to be the best girls' state tournament in the country. And it does showcase Iowa's elite teams, our elite players, and I would suggest our elite fans as well. But we recognize the pandemic. It has certainly made the trip to qualify for this tournament just a little bit more challenging. And, you know, I would suggest that it's also a testament to the ability of our student athletes to adapt and to persist through these tough times. So we're just so proud of these student athletes.
And you mentioned the student athletes and how they've grown and persevered through this challenging year. Talk about why Iowa Farm Bureau is so invested in supporting Iowa's youth.
Oh, well, you know, Tom, I'm a farmer, but I've always said that our kids here in Iowa are our most important crop. And that's why the Iowa Farm Bureau provides just over $250,000 in scholarships to students each and every year. More than $450,000 over the last 8 years for Iowa's teachers in terms of classroom supplies, as well as our sponsorship of 4-H and FFA and many other youth organizations, but of course, the Governor's Scholar Program. And we recognize academic students or academics and students in Iowa through that program.
And you mentioned recognizing and providing recognition and scholarship opportunities for youth in Iowa. But these student athletes here on the court today, they're actually taking home some other types of souvenirs, if you will, from the state tournament. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, each player will receive a signature ball, a basketball that coaches and players can sign. Everyone can keep as a keepsake and kind of a reminder of what the journey has been to get them here to the state tournament. So it's an opportunity for us to provide some good memories and keep that keepsake in front of them as they go on as being leaders in Iowa in our communities.
a cool keepsake, most definitely. Well, Craig, we are out of time here at halftime, but I want to thank you again for your support of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and everything that you do. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Tom.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Maybe that's why scientists are trying to recreate real meat. Trying to duplicate the taste and texture, often using more than 20 ingredients. But why tamper with what Mother Nature already perfected? A more complete, high-quality protein, Iowa Raised Meat is the original health food, with 9 essential amino acids necessary for the human diet. Nutrients that are hard to get from plant-based proteins. Best of all, the real meat on your dinner table tonight was sustainably raised with love by Iowa farm families. As much as people may try, there's just no substitute for the taste, texture, and nutrition of nature's perfect protein. But hey, keep at it. It's flattering that so many products want to be us.
Sometimes people who seem to know everything.
Dental insurance costs a fortune and it covers nothing.
Don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
Des Moines, the S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
And that's halftime, folks. I'm Gus Johnson, and it looks like the Clarks are starving. Over to Dad.
He goes for the Casey's app.
2 handmade pizzas.
Incredible! Casey's curbside pickup. What a play! Bringing it home. Boom! He scores with Casey's Pizza. Order any large Casey's pizza. Score another for just $5.99.
Casey's for the win.
Fans' official state tournament merchandise is now available online. Time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. Still at halftime here at Wells Fargo Arena between Davenport Assumption and Cherokee. Hunter Phillips and Trent Condon back here with you. And man, Trent, what a big second quarter by Davenport Assumption, who was able to outscore Cherokee by 7, 20-13. And really, as we take a look now at the halftime stats, you know, some of the big keys that stood out. I know this isn't one of the halftime stats, but points off of turnovers really a big thing. As you see, turnovers by Cherokee, 10, which led Assumption to come back in this one.
You know, Cherokee was able to get out to the early lead, 16-8. They led it late in the first quarter. Assumption gained a little bit of traction, trailed just by 4, and then it was all them in the second quarter. Doing it in a myriad of different ways. They're hitting three-pointers. Anderson with a couple of threes. 4 overall for the Knights. That was certainly huge from them. But a couple of the hustle stats going the way of the Knights. Points off of turnovers, 14, and also second chance points with 8. That's a big one. And maybe the most surprising number, Cherokee, 0 fast break points. I'm going to guess there hasn't been a half of basketball all year where Cherokee hasn't had a fast break point in the game.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those sayings where the numbers don't lie. Well, that is just one of the amazing stats right there that Cherokee, who has lived in transition this year, again, has been struggling to get anything going, and a credit to Davenport Assumption's defense there. And how about we go down to some of the individual leaders here, Trent? Ava Schubert really got going there in that second quarter as her teammates were able to find her down low. 10 points to go along with 2 rebounds, and then you balance that out with, again, the threes made by Katie Anderson. Cherokee really, they kind of had their hands full defensively.
They really have, and it's a myriad of different ways. Schubert talked about her in the post. Wohlers has done a nice job. Even Dorsey, who's handled the ball a ton. You kind of wonder about her in the second half, that pressure that's been on her all game long, how that's going to go. Assumption, you got to keep those turnovers down again in the second half here. They keep that number right at where it is right now, about 6 in the second half. I think they got a great chance of pulling this upset.
Well, and the big name in this 3A field on the other side for Cherokee, Jamae Nichols, held to just 4 points. She did have 6 rebounds there, but how about Alexis Pingle, 19 points, 4 or 5 from downtown. She was able to knock down a shot there towards the tail end of the first half to really kind of mend the tide a little bit. But, man, Alexis Pingle had the hot hand, and I know they're going to be looking more for Jamae Nichols here in the second half.
Yeah, certainly Pingle's somebody early on. I think Cherokee going to try to go through her and then see if everybody else can help out around her. You know the game plan for Assumption defensively now. It's finding Pingle. That means there's going to be some open shooters now for Cherokee.
So it will be Cherokee basketball to begin this second half. Again, both of these teams have not met one another.
It's a long drive from Davenport to Cherokee.
That
I will
is
tell
right.
you that much.
Both of these schools, about 170 miles away from downtown Des Moines, and just great that you're able to meet them for the first time here at Wells Fargo Arena as Cherokee will have the ball to begin the second half, and they go inside to Nichols. Floater won't go with the right hand, but the putback follow-through is good for Nichols.
And you had a partner right away going into Nichols.
So now Assumption's lead is down to just 1. It'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments were made at halftime and how both of these teams come out to begin the third quarter. And Assumption building a lot of momentum there in that second quarter. It's Dawson Dorsey, who really had a strong finish to the opening quarter, kind of broke things through for the Lady Knights. Anna Wohlers goes to Katie Anderson. Assumption hanging around the perimeter, but they go down low to Schubert. That time the left-handed layup is too strong. Dorsey collecting the steal, weaves in the lane and lays it in.
Oh boy, that was a pretty move, the left-handed throw-in.
And it was Assumption coming away with yet another steal. Turnaround jumper short by Grace Anderson, and Schubert is able to collect the rebound. They will get a whistle there on Wohlers, or actually that's going to be an offensive foul on Zweifel. There was a little bit of a smile there, Trent. She was right in front of you by Anna Wohlers, knowing that she was able to cause that turnover.
Yeah, just stood right there, and that's one where teammate for Zweifel's got to help her out, got to holler that there is somebody setting a pick there.
3-point lead for Davenport Assumption. The 8th seed coming into this state tournament, trying to knock off the top seed, Cherokee. Unblemished record coming in. And a tie-up. And Schubert, maybe a little too much contact.
That's her third.
Boy, and that is certainly something to keep an eye on moving forward, as from time to time, Assumption has had a lot of success going down low with the sophomore. Triple on the way. And knocking it down is Molly Pitts. 13th made 3 on the season for the junior. And that ties it up 34-34. And now Cherokee starting to be relentless on Davenport Assumption. And Dorsey, who's, like you said, Trent, for the majority of the ball handling, is loose. Nichols lays it in, and just like that, Cherokee is back up.
Just the pace they wanted to do. Defense ratcheted up, and they never panicked even after being down.
And we were wondering about that, as Cherokee has not played in many of these close back-and-forth games this season. A good start to the third quarter for Cherokee. Meanwhile, Dawson Dorsey is able to drive and banks it in home. We're tied up 36-36. Squeezing in the lane, and with the finish is Anderson.
Okay, I can't let that happen. You're playing zone, can't allow those easy passes inside.
Grace Anderson now with 5 points as Nichols, the state's leader in steals, is able to force Assumption to cough it up, and a battle for it down low.
Dangerous collision down there with the teammates from Assumption banging into each other, Wardlow and Rollers, but appeared to be okay as they both hopped up right away.
Yeah, from our angle again, just a really tough battle for it, and again, teammates going for it. Substitutions coming in for both teams after that dead ball. Again, substitutions in today's game are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com, and the ball's going to go the other way.
Been a game of runs the first quarter, owned by Cherokee, second by Assumption. Now Cherokee taking it back here in the third.
And Trent, we've seen a lot of back and forth. 5A got things going to get the day started, so knew that it was going to carry over here to the 3A field. This is what you love about the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament. Always back and forth. Active hands by Mongan from behind. Knocks away the ball from Davenport Assumption's Olivia Wardlow.
Wardlow turned that corner there, and I think she was surprised how open it was at the rim.
Jessie Wardlow, her sister, to inbound. A little head fake. And we'll give it back to Olivia Wardlow. Calling for it in the corner is Nige. 4:40 to play in the third quarter. Had multiple lead changes in this first half of the third quarter, but Cherokee up by 2. Ball will stay with Assumption as it squirted out of play, last touch by the Braves.
Difficult spot to inbound here. Cherokee wants to ratchet up the pressure.
Camille Zwiefel comes back in. And checking out is Mongan. She'll get a breather. Wardlow going inside to Schubert. Goes to work and cannot bank it home. Just off the iron. Now here comes Cherokee up by 2. Pitts. It's unable to connect from downtown. Made it 3 earlier. And it'll be Davenport Assumption ball.
Another something you see, of course, the shooting background here is so much different than basically any high school athlete is used to. But also, when you have that NBA three-point line, you can throw up where exactly you're standing where you think you are when you're firing up the shot.
Yeah, certainly a good point.
Not many high school gyms have that NBA line out there.
That's true, and and no team really has the opportunity to have a shoot-around. Maybe just about 20 minutes before game time. That's when they can get adjusted. Anderson squares up for 3, and that one is left short. Anderson had a good look after her defender was down on the other end. Now the Braves looking to pad their 2-point lead. Baseline jumper. Left short by Grace Anderson. Nige with the rebound, and now Assumption looking to push. High off the window and in for Olivia Wardlow. Assumption trying to build off of what they did in the second quarter, trying to attack in transition. Trying to get something through this Cherokee defense. And speaking of defense, Assumption comes away with the steal. Wardlow can't get the finish on the other side. And Zwiefel takes it away. 38-38, all knotted up. 3 in the corner. Off the mark from Pitts. Zwiefel with the rebound. And is fouled while going for the layup.
Be interested to see if they say this one's on the ground or a shooting foul. We'll say a shooting foul on this.
And they got that on Jessie Wardlow. So Camille Zwiefel looking for her first points today and is able to sink the first of 2 free throws. Subs coming in for both teams. And again, subs are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Zwiefel, a 68.8% free throw shooter this season for the Cherokee Braves. And she is able to knock down both. Now Cherokee is 11 for 13 from the line. Very good percentage. And they've made their trips.
Back and forth we go.
Dorsey knifing through the defense. Schubert can't get the shot to go, but is able to take away the rebound. Three is home! So Maddie Nanji with the three, but that was all set up by Ava Schubert coming down with the offensive rebound. More second chance points for Davenport Assumption. It was going to be whistled for the foul on the other end as Cherokee was looking to get back to work quickly.
Naiji hits the three-pointer a moment ago. Freshman not scared of the bright lights here at the state tournament. And Hunter, watching basketball now here recently, just how much that's changed. I think you remember what a big deal it was for the freshmen just playing at the varsity level. And now we see it doesn't matter the class, from here 3A up to 5A down to 1A. These young ladies are ready to go even as they step foot out there as 14, 15-year-olds.
Yeah, it really is amazing that the moment is not too big for them and that they're just getting started in their high school career. Mongan is at the line for Cherokee. Is able to make that free throw and put the Braves back up by 142-41. And again, what's been a back and forth third quarter between the top seed and the 8 seed. Dorsey. Runner. Won't go in with the left hand. Now it's Jamae Nichols. Met up by Dorsey at half court. Deep three. Rattles in and out by Mongan. Battle for the rebound. A held ball is signaled. Possession arrow points to Davenport Assumption.
Well, one of my favorite notes we got, Cherokee's head coach Brandon Slaughter. See him wearing a tie, more casual, of course, this season for a lot of basketball, but he's still wearing the tie. He throws away the tie after every loss, though. Hasn't had to throw away any ties this year.
Yeah, the tie has been safe for the last several months for head coach Brandon Slaughter, who again was an assistant coach for Heath Hagberg when Cherokee made it to the state tournament in 2016 and 17. Hathberg is still on the sidelines for Cherokee, who comes away with the steal. It's Pingle laying it in with the left hand, and for Pingle, her first points in the second half.
Read the passing lane beautifully, jumped out, and then the finish, more importantly.
The defensive plays made by both of these teams has been incredible and often has led to great looks on the breakaway. 3-point lead for Cherokee with 1:15 to play in the third quarter. Naiji goes cross court to Dorsey with a little head fake. Step back. Falls off the rim. A dangerous cross court pass, and man, what a hard collision in midair between Anna Wohlers and Camille Zwiefel, who is still down on the floor. They're going to get Zwiefel for the foul. But just two players that were battling for the ball right there, and great to see Zwiefel get up.
Yeah, gonna get a little breather over there. Chance to rest as these wholesale changes just continue. It feels like there's always a substitution coming in for Cherokee.
Less than 1 minute to play in what's been a barn burner of a third quarter between Davenport Assumption and Cherokee. Wohlers, baseline drive, kicks it out, triple on the way. That's too strong by Jesse Wardlow. Good look. Now the Braves take it the other way, leading by 3. Dangerous pass, ends up getting picked up by Mongan, and she's fouled on the way up, so Mongan gets to redeem herself after throwing kind of an errant pass there in the lane, but then picked up the loose ball, and she'll be back at the free throw line.
Yeah, Maddie Loken made a really nice defensive play to start that sequence, just a little unlucky as the ball deflected right to a Cherokee player, and then gets hit with the foul on top of it.
Mongan's first free throw rims in and out. All 4 of her points here today have come from the free throw line. 2 rebounds to go along with 3 assists. for just the sophomore on this squad, Kenna Mongan. She is able to go 1 for 2. She's one of 2 sophomores on this team. So we have 30 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Cherokee has outscored Assumption 16-9 in this third quarter after trailing 32-29 at halftime. 10 seconds remaining in the third. It's Anderson shuffling it back out to Wohlers. Jesse Wardlow goes to Anderson for 3. That one doesn't reach the rim, and that will take us to the fourth and final quarter from Wells Fargo Arena. Cherokee, the top seed, leads the 8 seed Davenport Assumption after 3 quarters of play, 45-41. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices.
It guides me home. I got it. You're my
Fairway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
Hey fans, as a reminder, Central College has a tuition price less than $20,000. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever. And scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. Hunter Phillips and Trent Condon back here with you on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, as Cherokee looks to get off to a start to pad their lead, leading 45-41, but can't connect from downtown. And now it's Assumption basketball, and Trent, really a big bounce-back third quarter from Cherokee, who was able to retake the lead.
Yeah, able to do it with the defense as they really clamped down. That pressure defense felt like it went up another level during the third.
Assumption led by 3 at halftime, and there is Schubert. Nice connection down low, and Schubert gets her first field goal here of this second half. Now just a 2-point lead for Cherokee. Active hands by Schubert, but Mongan catches the loose ball floater from inside the free throw line, rims in and out. And Schubert is there for the board for Davenport Assumption. It's really been back and forth in terms of the quarters. The Braves had a strong first quarter, but then Assumption had a big second quarter to take the lead into halftime. Braves were able to respond in the third quarter. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out in this fourth quarter, as Assumption can't get a bucket to go there. Off the dribble, count the bucket for Grace Anderson.
And the fourth foul on Ava Schubert. Not only the chance at the end one for Cherokee, but that fourth on Schubert. And it's decision time now for Coach Tim. You see this lead building for Cherokee. You let your best post player stay out there, you get a quick breather.
Well, he's been able to push the right buttons here throughout the course of this game, but she is going to get a breather, and Dawson Dorsey will come back in. Grace Anderson with 7 points, 3 rebounds, looking to complete the three-point play. Free throws left short, but Nichols getting the rebound off the miss and up and in with the left hand. Can't forget about Jamae Nichols, who steals the inbounds. Mongan to Zweifel, off the glass and in. What a series of events for the Braves.
Danger time now for the Knights.
About a 4-point swing there alone. About less than 10 seconds, and Jake Tim calls for timeout to settle down his Lady Knights. And that is a full timeout, so we will step aside as well. 6:22 to play here at Wells Fargo Arena. Cherokee up 51-43 on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Timeout on the floor called by Davenport Assumption, who is down 51-43. And Trent, how about that 6-0 run really got kickstarted by really very good defense by Cherokee. And again, Jermaine Nichols getting a rebound off a missed free throw, put back in, gets the steal, and great ball movement led to a bucket by the Braves. And Jake Tim just needs to settle down his team.
Yeah, turnovers have been a factor. Just 6 in the first half, 5 already though in the second half. For Assumption, have to clean that up. Got to give themselves chances at the rim.
So an 8-point lead for Cherokee, tied for their largest here on the afternoon, but Davenport Assumption has shown that they can work back, but not with plays like that. It's Nichols on the break. Ahead to Pingle, who lays it in.
What a pass. That was a beauty.
The Braves are not quitting on defense. The ball will go back to the Braves as again, Trent, that pressure by Cherokee, just forcing some tough passes for Assumption to make.
And now Coach Schubert's going to come back in. Coach Tim realizes, got to get her back in there, even with the 4 fouls. Can't let this thing lead grow anymore, as now Assumption down by double digits at 10.
Olivia Wardlow back in for Cherokee. So that was the 7th team foul on Assumption. So the Braves will be at the free throw line from here on out. Or actually, the Braves will be inbounding.
Yeah, so that was a player control foul as opposed to a foul that leads to a 1-and-1 or a bonus situation.
So play on for the Braves with less than 6 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Mongan kicks it out to Pitts. 3 is too strong. Pitts again with a 3 already here on the afternoon. And now Assumption trying to scratch and claw their way back down by 10. Dorsey fires a 3. That's left short. Anderson got the loose ball, but then thrown into the hands of Molly Pitts. And now a timeout is going to be called by Brandon Slaughter and Cherokee. So that will take us to another break. 5:21 to play in this fourth quarter. 10-point lead for the Cherokee Braves on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Ten-point lead for the top seed Cherokee Braves over Davenport Assumption with 5:21 to play in this opening game in the Class 3A bracket. Hunter Phillips and Trenton Condon back here with you. And Trent, I tell you what, again, it's just been the resiliency of this Cherokee squad that has led them to wins all season long. They lose their top player, point guard Tegan Slaughter. They've battled a lot of adversity down at halftime and hanging their hat on the defensive end. And, man, that's created some buckets on the other end for Cherokee, and Assumption's just trying to get something going here late.
Yeah, still plenty of time. They were down by 8 at the end of the first quarter, came back and took the lead in the second. So with 5:17 to play, Assumption not out of this one, but certainly got to tighten it up defensively, get some stops, and then get some scores on the other end.
Jermaine Nichols forcing contact in the middle of the paint.
I think they got Schubert there.
That is her 5th foul, so she will foul out with 12 points and 5 rebounds.
That is certainly a blow for Davenport Assumption. She has played so well in the post.
And again, their top scorer and someone who certainly has a bright future ahead, not only for Jake Tim's basketball squad, but again, an all-state volleyball player as well. Great multi-sport athlete that Davenport Assumption will have to work without here in the final 5 minutes and 12 seconds. Jermaine Nichols at the free throw line. First of the 1-and-1 rims out.
I think they said that was a shooting foul, so it's a 2-shotter.
Assumption was battling for it, thinking that maybe off the miss they could get it. Second free throw by Nichols. Swishes in. And Nichols will check out briefly. 11 points to go along with 9 rebounds. Near double-double territory for Jermaine Nichols. As Davenport Assumption, who came into the state tournament on a roll. A lot of momentum over the last few weeks. Trying to make a last push here with less than 5 minutes to play. Wohlers backs it out, Nige for 3. In and out. Wohlers battling for the rebound. They signal a held ball. And possession error will stay with the Lady Knights.
Well, Anderson had a couple of big threes early in the ball game. Need to get her going. One of the best three-point shooters on this team.
And the Lady Knights have only made 1 3 here in the second half thus far after knocking down 4 in the first half. Wohlers posting up. Bank shot won't go. And the Braves bring in the ball with 4.5 to play. Up 54-43. Kennemongan hands it off to Anna Paulsrud. Trying to look for teammates here, and a timeout called from behind by Coach Slaughter, recognizing the situation and wants to talk things over with his squad with 4:16 to play here in this fourth quarter. So the winner of this game, again, will go on to face the winner of the 4 versus 5 matchup, which is coming up next year on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. That's West Lyon and West Burlington. And those two teams will, again, the winner of this game, the winner of that game on Thursday at 2 p.m.
And then we'll be back for the nightcap.
That's right. Big 3A battle coming up at 9 o'clock. You and I will have the call for that. Clear Lake, the 2 seed, taking on Walk-On. And what you said, Trent, I think you said it perfectly. Just a wide open, it seems like, field here. Despite the 22-0 record for Cherokee, there are a lot of talented teams in this 3A field. Nichols, too strong, off the bounce. And now the Lady Knights with still plenty of time here. 4 minutes to play. Can't afford many empty possessions. 3 is short by Olivia Wardlow. Oh, it's Anderson off the catch. Left short. Nichols with the pressure off the rebound from Assumption. Gets her own miss. And as she was passing it back out, a reach and foul committed on Davenport Assumption.
I don't know how many steals it is officially here in the second half for Nichols, but it is a handful. She has been everywhere defensively in the second half.
Again, just simply that defense set the tone for the Braves here throughout much of the second half as Nichols is able to make the first free throw. And you got to admire the play, too. Trent, of Jermaine Nichols, who was pretty quiet there in the first half, but has really turned things up on both ends of the floor here in the second half. Second free throw left short. And Davenport Assumption racing the other way, down by 12 with Just over 3.5 to play. Dorsey forcing one up. The Braves just smothering defense down low on Dorsey. The Braves look to try to again milk as much clock as they can here with their largest lead on the evening. A little miscommunication between Grace Anderson and Kennemongan. Katie Anderson will re-enter the game for Assumption.
Well, unfinished business has been the team motto after falling a year ago. Did Cherokee to Bishop Helam in the regional final, and it's been quite the performance here out of them. Maybe a day they haven't played their best basketball, yet still leading by double digits.
And that says a lot about this team, as Anderson's three is short from the corner. Dorsey, offensive rebound. Putback won't go. And the Braves will dribble it into their front court as a foul is whistled on Nige. That's the fifth foul on her, so she will foul out. And Mongan will be back at the free throw line. And you mentioned that team motto, Trent, for Cherokee, and that's what's on the back of their shooting shirts. They want everyone to know unfinished business here in 2021.
Almost the perfect kind of game here. They were certainly given a couple of shots, but opportunity to get on the floor, understand the dimensions, how different it is too. And though we have fans in attendance, it's still not the packed house that normally we're used to. Still good crowd on both sides, but just not the sheer volume that we see a lot of times in those quarterfinal games.
And especially when some of the smaller communities congregate here to downtown Des Moines, this place is packed. Still a good amount of fans, but not the same, like you said. But always nice to not only have the fans, but the student sections as well. They've been loud behind us on the Assumption side. And a good showing from Cherokee as well. Towns are both really proud of what these two teams have done and what's been a wacky 2020 through 21 season. And after a timeout is going to be called by Davenport Assumption. And a full timeout is called by the Lady Knights. 2:44 to play in this fourth quarter. Cherokee up 56-43 on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Phone, but she's got to have 6, 5.
2:44 to play in this fourth quarter. Cherokee fans have had a lot to cheer for here on this Monday evening. Their team up 56-43 over Davenport Assumption, who will have the ball out of their timeout. And you know, we've spent a lot of time talking about Cherokee, but going back to Davenport Assumption, between January 29th and February 11th, they lost 5 straight games, but then were able to rattle off victories against Maquoketa, Center Point Urbana, very good 3A school, by the way, and Solon. Started the year at 1-3, and it just have found ways to battle back night in and night out and making it to their 17th state tournament. They will have the ball here with less than 2.5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, trailing by 13.
A lot of returning experience also for Assumption. Future appears very bright for Coach Tim's group.
Well, you know, a lot of these players are also going to be on the softball field as well later on this spring, as Nichols is able to finish in transition. Jermaine Nichols making a case for the Casey's General Store Player of the Game, which we will get to here in just a matter of moments. We knew that the senior was not going to stay quiet, especially on the defensive end, as she gets a high five going towards the bench. But Alexis Pingle, 19 first-half points. She has 23 here in this quarterfinal game. Those two coming up big and all different kinds of moments here today. Missed by Assumption. Then the floater won't go by Catula. Ball goes out of play, and it will be with the Braves with just under 2 to play.
You see that Cherokee defense, it just keeps coming at you, even with the lead now up to 15. Relentless all game long, 32 minutes playing together.
Travel by Monken, and you know, Trent, that's really a credit to Coach Slaughter and his staff, because you've got to have your team really buy into that kind of a philosophy, because that is awfully draining, but they have prided themselves on that type of basketball, and that's what has them here in this position. Getting up 58-43 with less than 2 to play, and doing this again without their star senior Tegan Slaughter. Got a total team effort, and again, unfinished business for this Brave squad as a foul is called on Grace Anderson.
A Bronx cheer goes up from the fans from Davenport Assumption as just the third team foul of the second half. I know fans love to see everything evened up. Not always the case, though. More goes into gameplay as opposed to everybody getting the same number of fouls.
Well, just really kind of a frustrating second half for Davenport Assumption, who again led at halftime by 3. Going the other way, count it, for Grace Anderson, who's able to lay it in with the contact.
That senior's had a nice game, and she's got a chance to get to double figures.
Like we noted, this is a balanced scoring Cherokee team. 4 players averaging double figures. Obviously, again, one of those players, Tegan Slaughter, but when you can throw in a performance like this from Grace Anderson and Kenna Mongan, makes them a really dangerous team moving forward here in this tournament.
As Wohlers picked up the foul there. That is somebody that Coach Tim talked about, just what a great leader, and the best leader on that squad is certainly what he's been able to get this year out of the senior Anna Wohlers.
Boy, and just someone that pours a lot into everything that she does. Going to be playing softball at the next level, like we noted earlier, at DePaul University in Chicago. As she brought it up the floor, Maddie Loken. Foul from behind there on the Braves. So now, Trent, we have the difficult duty of picking our Casey's General Store player of the game, and I'm going to go to you here. I think you could definitely have a co-player of the game, but who really stood out here today?
It is a difficult one, and we've talked a little bit about both Alexis Pingle, what she did in the first half, 23 points, 8 rebounds. Also, Jamae Nichols, she's got a double-double, 14 points now, 10 rebounds, and at least 5 steals in the second half. I like defense, and because of that, we'll give it to Jamae Nichols and what she was able to do defensively in the second half. Double-double, along with all those steals. Our Casey's player of the game, Jamae Nichols, for Cherokee.
She's going to play basketball at the University of Sioux Falls. So again, Jamae Nichols is our Casey's player of the game. Fans, Casey's is proud to sponsor the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and today's player of the game. Casey's is at the heart of many Iowa communities, cheering on our local teams and fans and making sure there's fresh pizza ready, win or lose. Sign up for the new Casey's Rewards, the rewards program that gives back by letting you redeem points for Casey's cash, field discounts, or donations to local schools.
How about the new Casey's commercial with Gus Johnson in it? You see that one, Hunter?
Man, big time when you bring in Gus. Tell you what.
I guess you weren't available, huh?
I know, right? Neither one of us were.
No.
I tell you what. Some Casey's Pizza certainly does sound good. You know, you call these games in such excitement, you get hungry a little bit.
No doubt.
But there you see the stat line for Jamae Nichols. And a lot of that coming here in the second half. 1 minute to play. Cherokee, the top seed. will advance to the semifinal round, which will again take place on Thursday afternoon. The ball will go the other way as they get an offensive foul on Anna Paulsrud.
Just 2 points in the fourth quarter from Davenport Assumption, 11 for the second half. Cherokee, that defense that we talked about, showing up in such a big way here in the second half.
They're known for their offense and what they're able to do on that end of the floor, ranking first in Class 3A in scoring offense. Share the ball well, third in assists, but as we've seen all afternoon long, it's been the defense that set the tone and will send the Braves even further into this state tournament. But meanwhile, for Davenport Assumption, like you said, you got 5 juniors, 4 sophomores on this squad, and they're going to be hungry next season. Fans on their feet from Cherokee. Again, making the 170-mile trek here to downtown Des Moines. They've had a lot to cheer for today. Molly Pitts gets the bucket. A big second half for Cherokee will send them to the semifinal round. Final score 63-43. Cherokee defeats Davenport Assumption. So the unbeaten Braves move to 23-0 on the season. Davenport Assumption, they will finish their season at 8-12, but again, bring a lot of experience back into next year. Now we'll step aside for the award presentation.
In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gary Ross and Gene Berger. Congratulations to head coach Jacob Tim and the Lady Knights from Davenport Assumption on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Tegan Slaughter will advance her team to the next round on the official bracket at center court. Hey, Cherokee fans, your team advances to the semifinals.
So Tegan Slaughter puts the stamp for Cherokee. Again, unfinished business. They're one step closer to the state title game as, again, they defeat Davenport Assumption 63-43. Hunter Phillips and Trent Condon back here with you. And I'll tell you what, Trent, you know, for really the first 2.5 quarters of this basketball game, a lot of back and forth, but then the defense from Cherokee was just able to really stymie Davenport Assumption. And you mentioned earlier just how big of a second half scoring-wise, just giving up 11 points on the defensive end, and that defense allowed for them to just pull away in this one.
They locked down defensively. They were able to deal with the full court pressure that we saw, but also their half-court defense I thought was so much better in the second half, not giving the open shots that we saw in the first. It was everybody. A team effort, that's what you want to see. And in the second half, they forced 13 turnovers of Davenport Assumption. That is that Cherokee defense we thought we were going to see. We saw it for the final 16 minutes.
Well, and Davenport Assumption, they were up at halftime, up by 3. And like we noted, you know, this is a Cherokee team that throughout the season did not play in many close games. So it has to say a lot for Brandon Slaughter's team, knowing that, hey, we have a full second half to go. And they were certainly able to regroup. And how about, again, the performance from our Casey's General Store player of the game here in this one, Jermaine Nichols, doing it all on the defensive end and getting others involved as well. Really an underrated passer as well. But, man, she was just doing the right things for her team.
Yeah, without Pingle in the first half, I don't know what the second half was going to look like, but it was a complete team effort throughout the whole game that Nichols was able to do. Her defensive intensity, you know, you see a lot of times these girls that come in with the gaudy stats, and that was the case with Nichols in the steal category. She was 10 clear of anybody in the whole state in terms of steals, not just in the class, but across the whole state. But you saw what a great defender she is, anticipation, and a good team defender as well, helping her teammates out, getting in the right spots. You need that kind of team leader, and that's what she was today for the Braves.
So again, Cherokee, they will face the winner of our next game here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. That is the 4-seed West Lyon taking on the 5-seed West Burlington. And Trent, man, what a fun start here to this 3A bracket, and we're going to be going on throughout the night here, but we'll see you back here at 9. But, man, what a fun start here to this 3A field.
And Cherokee fans, keep an eye on our next game. This is who you will be facing, West Lyon and West Burlington.
Yes.
Winner of this will be there for you Thursday afternoon. So want to get a little scouting report? It's coming your way next.
Yep, so again, West Lyon and West Burlington, they will face the Cherokee Braves, who win by 20 over Davenport Assumption, 63-43. So on behalf of our entire crew and for my broadcast partner, Trent Condon, I'm Hunter Phillips, signing off here from inside Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. And thank you for watching our live coverage of the 2021 Girls State Basketball Tournament, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.